So here we're going to look at how to do a titration, and Rizk from year 13 is going to help us to do that. The first thing he's going to do is put some sodium hydroxide into a conical flask. He's going to do that using a glass pipette and a pipette filler. Notice he pressed the top button to squeeze the air out of the bulb, and is now going to press the S button to suck the sodium hydroxide up into the glass pipette. If whilst you're doing this it stops sucking up the solution, you can re-evacuate the top bit by squeezing that top button and emptying out the bulb. If it goes over the line, that's fine, because you can press the E button at the bottom and empty it out. Notice the Rizk's getting down to eye level to make sure that the level of the solution is exactly at the line, and you measure that from the bottom of the meniscus. He's then going to empty it out into the conical flask so that we have exactly 25 centimetres cubed of sodium hydroxide. For health and safety reasons, he's going to put the pipette directly into the tray, or alternatively you can leave the bulb on the end to make sure it doesn't roll around the desk. If you tap the end lightly, it will empty any out on the bottom, but it's actually calibrated to take that into account. He's now going to place the conical flask onto the white tile to one side, as that will help us see any colour change. Next he's going to fill the burette, and he's going to fill that with hydrochloric acid. Now Rizk's quite tall, but if you can't reach the top, move it down onto a stool so that it's steady and you're not having to reach too far above your head. Make sure the tap at the bottom is closed. Using a small funnel, pour the hydrochloric acid into the burette. When it gets about 3/4 full, slow down, because sometimes it goes over the top and you definitely don't want that to happen. You need to make sure that the bit at the bottom is actually full up, so you empty it out to make sure that the bit at the bottom also has some solution in it. You then want to make sure that the reading is exactly 0 centimetres cubed. Again, notice how Rizk gets to eye level to make sure he can see the bottom of the meniscus. It's then very important to make sure that you remove the filter funnel from the top of the burette. We now have the burette filled with the hydrochloric acid and the conical flask filled with the sodium hydroxide. We put the white tile and the conical flask underneath the burette. In order to make sure we can see the colour change, we're going to use an indicator. We're actually going to use methyl orange. Add a few drops to make sure that you can see the colour clearly, and make sure you swirl the conical flask. Rizk's now going to carry out the titration. You use your strong hand, so Rizk is right-handed, to swirl, and your left hand to control the tap. This might feel awkward at first, but it does get easier. Notice that Rizk is looking at the colour change and not the burette. At the moment it's a straw orange colour. As soon as you think the colour might start to change, slow it down, but notice that Rizk is swirling the whole time. You might see here that some of the colour is actually appearing red, so it's showing that we're getting close to our colour change. So notice Rizk stops, swirls it, slows it down, swirls it again. As soon as that colour changes, you then take the reading on the burette, and 0 is at the top of the burette and 50 at the bottom, to make sure you can get your reading. You would then repeat this titration twice more to try and get results that we say are concordant within 0.1 centimetres cubed of each other.